I'd like to call on Jack Friedman to make the next presentation.
Yeah, I'm not sure what order these are.
Well, we don't have a PowerPoint here.
I sent it to Sherry.
Oh, we do have PowerPoint.
That's here.
Yeah, I'm just going to talk long enough till Josh gets the PowerPoint ready. We're proud to nominate CCI Energy Solutions for an award because CCI, it's more than just a company that provides ESCOs and CHP and oil gas conversion. Tom Gresh is just a special man. Tom knows everyone. Tom, anyone you talk to in Long Island and Queens and Brooklyn and Manhattan, Tom seems to know everyone. He's a great connector. So Tom has really made a big change to the chamber. He's formed the Energy Committee in less than 4 months. The committee had over 45 members to it. We're meeting on Energy Forum in Queens College. All of this is Tom. So I thought when the awards came out, this is the embodiment of what Gotham is all about. This is a giver, this is a connector, this is someone who's not half as interested in what's coming back to him as what he can offer other people. And he does that with building managers, property managers, real estate developers, and co-op boards and things like that. But he works with all different service providers, and he talks to people who do solar and gas and water and steam. Works with the incubator out in Stony Brook, but knows his stuff. So he'll tell you more about his company specifically. I think you should know Tom more than anything else. So with that, Mr. Gresh.
Thank you, Jack. Appreciate it.
You want to do the presentation?
Okay, I got it.
You already did it.
Okay.
Josh, do you mind?
Huh?
Just
Yeah,
a little-
just tell me when to advance.
Thank you. So, thank you very much for the introduction and the honor. So CCI Energy Solutions is a wholly owned subsidiary of Castleton Commodities, Inc. It's one of those billion-dollar hedge funds that most people hear about and hate. And our other partner is Chesapeake Energy, who you probably also hate because they do fracking. But Chesapeake Energy is the third largest natural gas producer in the U.S. They came together in 2011 after Mayor Bloomberg passed Local Law 43 about eliminating number 6 oil. Anybody here ever seen number 6 oil? I saw it for the first time a year ago. It's like pancake batter. It has to be heated by other oil. It's so thick and gross. That's the black stuff you see coming out of the chimneys. So we do natural gas conversions from oil, from number 6, also down to number 2. Could you change, Josh? Natural gas conversions, we build CHP power plants. One of the coolest things just happened in the last 30 days was we got the attention of Deutsche Bank, and Deutsche Bank has an energy retrofit fund. The first tranche is $250 million. So we're able to go tap into that for funding, which makes us kind of unique. And I'll talk about that in a second. The folks that run the company that are my partners in crime in this thing are former utility guys, especially the guy in the middle there, Bob Cattell. He's a retired chairman of Brooklyn Union Gas and then Keyspan. A gentleman and a mentor to me in many different ways, but he carries lots of clout and has been able to pull this thing off over the last couple of years. Next, Josh. So those are the things that we do in a nutshell. So oil and natural gas, combined heat and power, we build mini power plants. Half the size of this table, like in a one-car garage size building, on the roof of a skyscraper can power the whole thing, making cheap electricity out of really inexpensive natural gas. Always being on the grid, so you're never away from Con Ed or the utility, but the savings are incredible. And it also helps with your footprint. We do LED and other types of lighting projects. We secure all the grants and the funds, whether it's NYSERDA, Con Ed, or National Grid, or whatever the utility is. And again, we also fund it. Talk about this a little bit. That's good. Gas is, I mean, the markets right now are kind of in flux and in turmoil. Gasoline's supposed to be below $2 a gallon in the next 30 days. But in general, and if the futures dictate, and they're usually pretty accurate, it's about a half savings, natural gas versus oil. Plus the oil is dirty and mostly foreign. So again, he's outlawing, the city is outlawing number 6, and it's kind of funny, a lot of people we talk to in some places in the city, they actually burn used motor oil. It's mind-boggling, anything to save a buck, but the city has kind of caught on to that, and what the city is doing is stepping up their boiler inspections, and they're not allowing people to get their boiler inspected and have it passed. So they're really kind of forcing companies and buildings and so on to do the conversions to natural gas. Or number 2, which is a little bit cleaner. Again, gas is really cheap. The comparison for greenhouse gases versus oil is a really important notation to make as well. Go ahead, Josh. So we're a Con Ed market partner. We're part of all this different city projects. And again, we're one-stop shopping. We do a lot of the things a lot of other vendors or competitors of ours do, except we bring one-stop shopping, project management of the whole thing, and the magic of money. So if we go and do an assessment at our own cost and find out that we can save you 45% on your energy spend, we'll take, in a very transparent way, we'll take 30% or so of those savings, and you'll see it all in a document. We'll pull 30% of those savings out to fund the project over 5 years. At the end of the 5 years, we give you the key, the project has been paid for, there's no upfront, and there's no out of pocket. It's kind of remarkable. And the investors, the people like Deutsche Bank and our parent companies, they get their rate of return. All works out pretty magical. Combined heat and power is one of the coolest things out there. If there's a facility that you might know of that has a need for the thermal heat that's generated, so that motor runs all the time to make electricity, it gives off heat. It wouldn't be good in the school because schools aren't a balanced load across 12 months. A great application for this is a hotel, a nursing home, or a hospital. And they're popping up left and right. The biggest change in all this energy stuff, which has got me so excited, is the bad news, the terrible news was Hurricane Sandy, and the really good news was Hurricane Sandy. A building I used to work at 55 Water Street, has a 6-unit parking garage below ground. That was flooded from the 6th level down up to the top, including the boiler and everything else, now being moved to the middle of that building. It's a whole new dynamic. I'm a lifelong New Yorker. If anybody ever would have said that any part of the city would have been flooded like that, it's been literally a sea change in thinking. Lots of different benefits I can bore you with. Just keep going if you don't mind, Josh. We also supply, as an ESCO, an energy service company, because of our big parent relationship, we supply natural gas and electricity as a substitute for Con Ed or National Grid, traditionally at a lower rate with options, so we can fix the price for 5 or 7 years, which is always usually beneficial. LED lighting, all good stuff. Look, LED lighting is a low-hanging fruit of energy savings. If folks don't know it, I mean, a 10-watt light bulb that might be an LED, it might be a CFL or a incandescent versus half of that, it just saves half the power for LED. It's remarkable. And the incentives that are available can usually pay for the project within a year or two. Keep going if you don't mind. Again, we do all different types of things with HVAC and motor replacement and steam traps, anything to do with a building. We don't do residential homes, but we do apartment buildings, skyscrapers, hotels, you name it. And that's me, that's us. It's CCI Energy. Thanks. Thanks, Corey. Thanks, Jack. Josh, thanks for doing it. Thanks, guys.
So, give me 2 shots. Here we go. One more. Thank you.
Okay.
I can advance for you if you want.
That's Sherry, right? Okay, Sherry?
Okay, well, a while back, in my attempt to get people to join Gotham Green, I met Gennaro and talked to him about what he did, and I was impressed. Echo Brooklyn is an innovative builder, providing cutting-edge green and building solutions, and they consider themselves radical in terms of green building techniques. I will move this along and say that when we did these awards, I sent the application to Gennaro, and he was so excited, and he wrote in an application that really said that he does the kinds of things in building and construction that we are looking for people to do to make a difference in the world. So let me just bring him up. Whatever you like, sir. Okay. So we'll do the presentation. And I'm going to say this to Gennaro, but I'm going to say it to all the winners. These pins that you get are membership in Gotham Green. They're not just a pin. They come with a lot of meaning and value because you will be invited to come here for lunch, for the meetings, and it's a very special treat. Come back.
Stay up there. I haven't taken the picture
Part
yet.
of you, and you're supposed to hear it too.
right, here we go, look at me. One more.
Now, the presentation.
You want to stand here?
Sure. First of all, thanks Sherry. She came out to visit me one day in Red Hook. We met in a parking lot. It was freezing cold. I was building a shipping container building. And I was just so impressed she actually came out and visited me, that we stayed in touch. That's how we got to know each other. Thank you. It's an honor. It's actually my first honor. I guess I can say it's the best honor I've ever had. One thing that's really important for me to share with you is the reason that Eco Brooklyn is in existence, and I think the only reason any green building company should be in existence is with the intention of making the world a greener and more ecological place, which, as you know, is not always the case. Perhaps some of you in this room even might be here for financial benefit. There's nothing wrong with that, but my point is that it's very important to understand why we're doing this. For me, it's what pushes me ahead each day, and it's what keeps my direction clear. The other thing that drives me and my company is the understanding that we are not the most enlightened creatures on this planet, and we're actually far from it. What we might be is part of an enlightened planetary awareness, and in that we share a very important part of the awareness. But it's important for us to understand that we share this planet with a lot of other creatures, both living and non-living, and we should not have the ego to think that we know what's best for them, or possibly even ourselves. Next. This is another real eye-opener for me. When I saw this, I was just like, basically, if you look at the size of the country, it shows you how many people are living on $1 a day or less. So India is just more people are living on $1 a day than not, which is, for me, very sobering. And as you'll notice, you can barely see the United States. So we are an elite. We're a very blessed and very rich elite. And I think it's important to keep that in perspective as we do our green interactions. Just to understand that what's normal for us is absolutely foreign to the massive majority of the planet. The other important thing for me is in green building, it's not about studs and sheetrock, it's about regeneration. And in that, what it essentially is biophilia, the bio, life, and philia, the love of life, is what we're doing. So we're trying to increase the love of life, in whether it's plants, whether it's in the interaction of the design of a place, so that the people who interact in that place are happier and more loving. This is an example of what I'm talking about. This is a classic brownstone up in Harlem. You can see the sunlight coming in from above because there was no roof. And we took this, and if you look at the next slide, we turned it into a passive house, which some of you might know it has this little tiny thing that makes heat and hot water in the basement. That's all it needs. This building, if you can imagine, 20 trucks carrying 20-yard dumpsters going down the road. What we did is we called those 20 trucks, they're on their way to the dump, and we told them to come to this house and dump their garbage there. We cleaned that garbage, we cut it up, and we put it into this house. That's what we did. The floors, the walls, the stairs, the counters, everything in this house is recycled and salvaged materials. So by constructing this house, we removed 20 dumpster yards of garbage. The regeneration was that process. The walls have clay on them. These are 200-year-old beams that we made the kitchen out of. The floors, maple flooring from a Catholic church. It's just from all over the place. That's the heating. That little unit up there, that's what heats the space. So, next slide. Just another example of your typical brownstone. I mean, yeah, your typical backyard Brooklyn brownstone. If you go to the next slide, what we did is we turned it into a natural swimming pool. So this swimming pool is the most beautiful, the most crystalline, clear, fresh pool that you could swim in, and yet it cleans itself. And so we went from a concrete backyard to an oasis in a Brooklyn brownstone backyard. Again, your classic brownstone roof, and then we turned it into this, which is a green roof. I have a beehive. We don't harvest the honey, it's just to have the bees, right? And part of that giving, my focus is to give, not necessarily to humans per se, but to the larger ecological environmental package, which of course includes humans. So I think that's pretty much it. What's the next slide? Oh yeah, here, another example of just really inefficient, full of tar and toxic paint, and we turned it into this, which is salvage slate, 200-year-old salvage slate, native plants that just hang out there. They're just happy, you know. And the next one is, that's it. If you want to learn more, there's ecobrooklyn.com, and of course there's all the social media. Which, thank you. Great presentation. Thank you.